What's the most fucked up thing you did in a sleepover? In the mid-late 90s, my brother got really into the anarchist's cookbook and learned how to tap into neighbors' landlines from a box on the pole using a touch-tone phone and some connectors from Radio Shack. We'd have friends sleep over, we are close in age, and we'd sneak out and he'd hook a phone up so we could call phone sex lines from outside a neighbor's house in the bushes. I still wonder if they disputed the charges or if the wife just thought the husband was calling 1-900 big tits at 2 a.m. I snuck out of my good friend's house while she was sleeping. Met up with some friends who were looking for someone to TP. We TP'd my friend's house and then I snuck back in and went to bed. In the morning I had to act surprised while helping her clean it up. I still feel bad. Visiting a friend's house for the first time and I couldn't find the bathroom. I was about 10 during a sleepover. In the middle of the night. Dark. Confused. I pissed in the closet. Got a bloody nose. It was dark and I didn't know the house. So I stuck near the walls and went down the hallway and found the bathroom. Got the bleeding to stop. Cleaned up. Went back to sleep. In the morning, the mom came in frantic making sure everyone was alive after she saw smeared bloody handprints all the way down the hallway. More embarrassing than fucked up. Accidentally clogged the toilet at friend X's house. There was no plunger and the toilet was filling rapidly. I panicked and ran to my friend who promptly called for his dad. His dad takes one look and yells from the bathroom, "Jesus. X. How big of a shit did you take?" Exclamation mark. It took years before I went back to his house. Walked home while everyone was asleep. Didn't tell my friend. Didn't tell their parents. Didn't tell my parents. Just crawled out a window at my friend's house and crawled in a window at my own. Went to bed. Not a single person looked for me in the morning. We had a code church group sleepover at a Vermont farm. I was 13 and recently got a fake testicle. I had my other testicle removed due to an accident. I was getting people to feel my balls and take bets on which one was the real one. I don't remember what we were looking for, but me and another friend went through our buddy's parents' bedroom drawers and found a VHS tape. We were curious and idiotic, so we popped the tape in to see what was on it. Our buddy walked in while we were watching his parents have sex. His scream was the most shocking / horrifying thing I have heard to this day. In Boy Scouts, I was the morning cook, meaning I woke up before anyone else to chop wood, make fire, and get water boiling. I grab the hatchet and start splitting a log into little splinters for kindling. It was cold and dewy. The hatchet slipped from my hand mid-upward swing and went flying to the tent circle. It seriously flew 10 to 15 yards and fell straight down through the roof of a tent, where 4 scouts were sound asleep. I'm not sure how long I waited to hear someone start screaming. I probably sat there in terrified anticipation for over a minute. Then I was worried someone might be hurt, so I crawled over to that tent where the hatchet landed. I super quietly unzipped the flap and saw it landed in a bag of clothes very close to some kid's head. I snuck in, grabbed the hatchet, left the tent, zipped it back up, and finished breakfast. I heard them at breakfast complaining that the raccoons has ruined their perfectly nice tent by clawing a hole in it. Was at a sleepover. My buddy slept on his couch, I slept on his beanbag chair with a blanket. After hours of playing 007 GoldenEye, I get up and go use their restroom. Except I didn't. I only dreamed I did, and I pissed all over myself at like 4 a.m. I hid the blanket in their jacket closet. It was summertime, and threw the beanbag chair in my pussy underpants in their outdoors dumpster. They lived on a ranch. I was 14 at the time. Lol. I pissed on the air mattress and my friend's mom asked if a raccoon broke in. I bathed my friend. 2 of us stayed at a friend's house in our early teens. We raided their parents' liquor cabinet and proceeded to not understand how alcohol works. We drank every kind of liquor under the sun. Very quickly. Over the course of a few hours, we chased shots with popsicles and ate animal crackers to get the taste of gin out of our mouths. One of the 3 of us stood atop a small staircase into the living room. Maybe 4 steps. A few feet in distance. He swayed. Grabbed onto the railing. Turned pale and then projectile vomited so violently that it all landed and splashed at the bottom of the staircase, leaving the steps clear. Minus a few drops. He then immediately fell down the stairs and began to laugh in a pool of his own vomit. We picked him up. Dragged him to the bathroom. Stripped off all his clothes and shoved him in the shower. He had thick curly hair that was filled with bright red popsicle colored animal cracker paste. I told him to put out his hands as he kept yelling to not tell everyone he had a small dick. Once he finally complied, I poured shampoo in his hands and told him to clean his hair. He slapped it all into his face, causing him to gag and his eyes to burn. At this point I had to get him cleaned up. So I did. We had no spare clothes for him barring our friend's brother's clothes. He was quite obese. We had to get a belt and tightly tie what I can only describe as parachute shorts around his waist. We went to sleep afterwards and convinced ourselves no one in the house heard us. If the story is believed to be untrue, the reason I remember it so well is because that friend shouting about his dick had a bigger dick than me. And you never forget finding out your dick is small. Went down to Florida with a gay friend to visit a mutual female friend. We all slept in the same bed. And at some point during the night, they decided they wanted to see if they could have sex. Gay friend tried. But he couldn't get hard since he had no attraction to her. I laid there and stared at the ceiling thinking, this is kinda awkward. Wish I could sleep. Was probably in like 6th grade maybe. Buddy of mine had a birthday sleepover. Had a super cool basement with pool and GameCube and a mini fridge. Dope parents who bought us pizza and all that. It was about like 15 of us spending the night. At some point around like 2 AM someone wanted to play Mario Kart and all you heard was a big crash and suddenly a very faint I think I just spilled orange soda on the GameCube. Cue a faint BZZT sound and yeah. GameCube was fucked. Buddy's parents were not happy. Pretty sure that was the last big sleepover like that. I peed on my friend's couch during a sleepover. I was 10, kinda old to pee the bed. I know. I woke up in a panic of course. But discovered the couch cushions weren't sewed to the couch and they were identical on both sides. So I flipped that shit, changed into a spare pair of shorts, and went to sleep. A year later, while I was at that friend's house, his mom discovered my huge yellow piss stain on the bottom of a couch cushion. Of course she didn't suspect me. My friend's little sister took the heat. It was me, Mrs. Schofield. I pissed on your couch and let it soak for a year. Edit. Holy shit, this got more attention than I anticipated. Edit 2. Some have suggested that maybe she discovered the stain intentionally while I was there as a way to either call me out or give me a chance to admit it. Doubtful. I was over at this friend's house a lot. Like at least 3 dozen times in between the day I peed on his couch and the day his mom discovered it. The only reason they found it was because they were rearranging living room furniture and were considering trashing the couch, and I happened to be visiting the same day. I had a sleepover at a friend's house. Preteen boys. So we were stuffed in one little bed. I got a nosebleed, but slept through it for about an hour. I noticed eventually and got up to tend to it. My friend woke up while I was in the bathroom to what looked like a scene from a horror movie. I did not get a second sleepover. One of my buddies in high school would bully me all the time and he treated me like shit when I was staying over his house with other friends. One time he told me to go get him a glass of water, so I went upstairs, poured him a glass of water, dipped my nuts in it for a few seconds then gave it to him. Got hammered at the bar and slept over at this couple's house. I never got the tour so didn't know where the bathroom was. I woke up having to puke and shit. I alternated but I got shit and puke everywhere. They didn't have toilet paper, so I used a bag of cotton balls, which wouldn't flush. So I put all the wet cotton balls back in the original bag with my shit covered underwear and threw the bag away in their kitchen trash can. Their dog was watching me the entire time. I left before they got up and never spoke to them again. Edit. Wow. Thank you all for the love. I'm glad my adventure could bring you joy. My friend had just gotten the internet, so we spent all night trying to look up porn of the Spice Girls. That should give you a rough idea of when this happened. Raided my friend's dad's Playboy mags. Then my friend showed me a porn video, and I couldn't figure out why the girl was drinking the guy's pee. Full disclosure, I was like 9 or 10 and this was early 80s.